We provide a supportive and entrepreneurial environment in our case because we're entrepreneurs, we're on a mission. And from that perspective, we are focused on helping others grow in providing this proactive, engaging, encouraging forum for meetings. All right. That's my bootleg version of our mission. Well, let's have a good time this morning. I'm glad to be your Toastmaster today. It's going to be a good time. We have three speakers today. We're so excited about that. Our theme today is business challenge. And when you think about business challenges, you think about how you can move to the next level in what you're doing. But before we do all that, we always have an amazing, and I say amazing, educational moment. And who's going to give that to us? The amazing Charles Radney. Put your hands together. Come on, Charles, bring it to the stage.
Good morning, everyone.
Morning.
How many of you, by show of hands, are giving presentations away from a Toastmasters meeting? Okay. One thing I want to share with everyone, if you're doing meetings away from a Toastmasters meeting and you're not sure what equipment is going to be from the standpoint of whose laptop you're going to be using, what equipment you're going to be tagging into, always have your presentation as a backup on a flash drive. But the only thing that should be on that flash drive is that presentation. That way, when you plug it in, the kids' vacation pictures don't come up. The only thing that comes up will be your presentation for that day. Back to you, Melinda.
Thank you, Charles, for that educational moment. And you help us to recognize that we have to be able to be ready. As entrepreneur Toastmasters, we have the opportunity to be ready. So in our lives, we have challenges. And when you think about how you've begun from infancy, when you were that 3 or 4-year-old, when your parents were sharing to you, who am I going to be when I grow up? Or what am I going to be? What I want to do when I grow up? Some people said I want to be a fireman. Somebody said I want to be a doctor. Somebody said I want to be a lawyer. Somebody said I want to be a teacher. But we decided we're going to be entrepreneurs. Hello, somebody. So from that perspective, think about who are you going to be? And that's what this meeting is focusing on. What are the challenges in our life as business individuals? Oftentimes we hear the word failure. And we say the word failure, what do people think in their mind? Oh my gosh, I can't do it. I'm going to say no. I can't step up. I'm not going to take on that opportunity. I'm not going to take on that business challenges. No, I can't open that business. But you know what? Without failure, you will not have success. I'm going to say that again. Without failure, you would not have success. So this morning we have three amazing speakers to help us on that journey to recognize why failure is important and to take us to the next level. Are you with me? Are you excited? Say yes. 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 And so our first speaker this morning is the amazing Bond Wang. He is our Vice President of Public Relations. He does so many things for us. He's in the background making things happen all the time. And I'm going to tell you about this man, just so you know, so you can ask yourself if you can go to him to help you grow your business or whatever you're doing. So who is Bond? Let me tell you. Let me tell you who Bond is. All right. Dun, 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 dun. Let me tell you about this man. Bond Wang, first of all, has been a Toastmaster for 5 years. He joined Toastmasters to fight the fear of public speaking. Congratulations, Bond. You see, he has overcome that fear. And his hobbies are reading, writing, and exercise. Good job, Bond. He's working on pathways, speech, and he's in the path of engaging humor. And today he's going to be doing speech on level 3 engaging your audience with humor. He's not going to share a success story. Instead, he believes life consists of many failures and none of them leads you to the end of the world. Did you hear that? He said, none of them lead you to the end of that world. That means, what does it say? You will survive. So, coming to the stage, he's going to talk about when failure finally hits. When failure finally hits, the amazing Bond Wang coming to the stage. Do it, Bond. It's all about you now.
Thank you, Madam Toastmaster. Before I start, may I ask who's the timer this morning?
Frankie.
Okay, got you.
Frankie.
So we all know the rules, right, Frankie? My speech is 5 to 7. Okay, I'm going to start.
5 to 7, I've got it.
Good morning. Raise your hand if you hate failures. Let me see. Of course, everybody's hand is up, right? We all hate failures. And that is why, for many years, I worked my tail off in the corporate world, climbed the stairs, became an executive. And people greeted me like, hey, Bond, your job is irreplaceable. Oh boy, I couldn't get enough of this praise. I mean, out of a job? Me? Come on, it has to be the end of the world. Then 2017, my company went bankrupt. I was like, okay, I see it coming, the end of the world. Strangely though, the world didn't end. Of course it didn't. Instead, I feel something unexpected. What was it? Relief. Yes, a big relief. The night when they sent me home, I slept like a baby. I mean, that kind of sleep that wakes up every 2 hours screaming. Anyway, in the morning, I told myself, you have hit your rock bottom. Now, the move from now is only going up. And up. Hurrah! I was so excited. Except, wait a minute. It turns out it wasn't the rock bottom. It was a rock top. And I have been falling from that top for 7 years now and still counting. 2018, I landed this job interview with a Norwegian company. Dream job, I must get it. We're flying to Norway. I was wrestling with fear. Oh, what if I fail this time? So I was so nervous in the interview, I poured out tons of filler words. Thank goodness it wasn't a Toastmasters meeting. Otherwise, our counter would have given me a long report. After the interview, I said to myself, this is it, Bond. If you don't get this job, the world will end for sure this time. A few weeks later, I got this email. Dear Bond, we regret to inform. Okay, I said there. And waiting for the world to end. It could come in any minute. Nope. It turns out the world didn't end at all. No apocalypse, no crash. And guess what? Relief. I was like unplugged right away. I get on to my next job hunt. Soon I moved to the US, got my work permit, then I sent out hundreds of job applications. I mean, executives, right? I said to myself, your career is only going up, never going down. Going down would be a catastrophic failure. I won't let it happen. However, after a series of job interviews that went, let me put it this way, went less than ideal, I came to realize that my experience was manufacturer based and it was useless in this country because they had moved it all to Asia, where I came from 20 years ago. So here came this cycle of fear, failure, relief, and repeat. The more interviews I busted, the more relief that I got. Finally, when the moment of truth hit me, being an Uber driver, I was so terrified. I said to myself, no, 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 impossible. What would my family think about it? And what about my old colleagues, my friends? This is a failure with a big, big capital F. I won't let it happen. Then you know what happened. Soon I became an Uber driver, and soon I was hired by Amazon warehouse to sort the delivery boxes, one failure after another. But here's the twist. Every time when I was hit by a failure, I was rewarded by this weird feeling, relief. Then I got a new idea and I moved on. I was like, where is the end of the world? I keep waiting for it, but all I got was this relief. Fast forward to today, now I'm sure I'm still falling from that rock top of 7 years ago. Now I am a Airbnb host. I stopped job hunting 2 years ago, closed my accounts on Glassdoor, Indeed. My LinkedIn page is like a ghost town now. Last time I checked out, I think was 6 months ago or so. By all logic, I should have died of shame, self-doubt for over 100 times. But instead, I am blessed by this sweet, sweet relief after each failure. Here is the secret. I tell myself, even when your dreams die one after another, but as long as you don't, everything is gonna be okay. So dear friends, next time when you see me working in an Amazon warehouse or driving a Uber, make sure wave to me, hi Bond, and I will wave back. And you see, I am still in the game. As for failure, well, absolutely, it's not the end of the world. And at least it hasn't knocked me out yet. And guess what? I really enjoy the ride, Madam Toastmaster.
Oh, let's clap for Bond. He was the bomb this morning. Yeah, yeah, yeah. I enjoyed your stories, Bond, but I'll let everybody share on that. And this is the time where we get to give Bond feedback about his speech. So let's volunteer and share some comments to Bond about his speech this morning. Any volunteers? Put your hand up and Frankie will acknowledge you. Okay, April.
Wow, what a ride. Thank you for your speech. I love where you said, where is the end of the world? It's this huge mountain, this huge feeling that you were so afraid of. And then all of a sudden you start looking for it and it never comes. And here you are. I hear such a story of triumph, of autonomy, that you have created your own path through Airbnb, through Uber driving, through Amazon warehouse. You've diversified your portfolio. You've allowed your income to be diversified and, in a way, taking control of your own. Whereas in a corporate job, in a corporate setting, there could be that safety net. But like you said, the end of the world came there. But now, if one industry shifts, you've diversified yourself in a way. And I'm not sure if you've considered that, that you've diversified yourself and created autonomy for yourself. But I see you as a multiple business owners, in that you have owned your own path. I'm so excited with where's the end of the world? Enjoy the ride. So thank you so much. And maybe in the future, be able to stand in front of a larger audience and share this story, and even speak to other groups, corporate groups, as a motivational and encouraging speaker. But I definitely enjoyed your speech today. Thank you.
Thank you, April.
Okay, next. Let's share some feedback. Yes, I see hands. There's Karen. Go right ahead, Karen. Good morning.
Good morning. Hi, Bon. Thank you so much for that. You would not believe that I just completed writing a message to myself about failure before logging in to this discussion. So this was really, really good to have. You had my attention the entire way. I was hanging with every emotion, from what's going to come next in that letter to what next opportunity. And what I love the most is the unpredictability of the end, right? Because by default, something like this would end with a great, huge job opportunity, but it didn't. And what I love about that is the fact that your ending is more about the peace of mind. And that is something that, as a fellow entrepreneur, I strive for every day. I remind myself that there's no value or no dollar figure that can be placed on that peace of mind. And if there's nothing else I take away from what you shared, is how much you've come to embrace that peace, or as you refer to it, that relief that comes as you go from one journey to another. So I wanted to say thank you for sharing that, and congratulations on just getting to that place where you can embrace, that peace when it comes.
Thank you for sharing, Karen. All right, let's go to the next feedback. Come on, Deborah. Let him know.
Thank you, Bon. Good morning, everyone. Thank you for that. You're sharing how you're not a failure going from one job avenue to another. We have a younger adult in our family that tends to want to go from one job to another. And it's been talked to being like, why are you going from one job to another? But they're finding their niche as well. Finding that an Uber driver or DoorDash driver or Amazon can be profitable, can be an entrepreneurship, as you say. I will be sharing this speech with them because it helps them understand that you can prosper, you can make it within your life, because the younger ones, adults do not always see a corporate world. They don't always see what can I do for myself and how am I going to make it. But the jobs are there, they're out there. And so they pursuing those jobs where they can make the money and moving from one place to another. So thank you for that. Well said, and I will be sharing. Thank you.
Okay, anybody else want to share with some feedback for Vaughn? Any other hands? Frankie, yes.
I have my hand up as timer.
Oh.
We're out of time. So
Okay. All right. Thank you for your feedback about understanding how we can take a business challenge and soar to the next level. We all have challenges in our life for different reasons, for different seasons, but they're not for a season, they're for a reason, and they're for a lifetime. How about that when you think about a business challenge from that perspective? And we're going to move on because we have three speakers today. Our next speaker is the amazing Charles Radney, and this man does everything. He's a consummate entrepreneur. He's done everything. He helps people grow to the next level. He does a lot of leadership training, personal development. He's all of that plus 24 bags of chips with salsa. Coming to the stage is our second speaker this morning, sharing with us his business challenge and his thoughts is the amazing Charles Radney. Show him some love. Come on, Charles, bless us.
Charles, how much
Morning.
time do you need?
Do 4 to 6.
Got it.
Good morning, everyone. By show of hands, how many of you during the course of your lives or your businesses have had some type of challenge based on how people perceived you? Frankie, what kind of challenge did you have based on how people saw you?
When my husband and I started our business, I was young, inexperienced, took over the accounting, of course, and had to learn the hard way that the CPAs don't necessarily tell you what you really need to know. So it did take some college courses. But I was looked at as a trophy wife, I guess you could call it, and didn't realize that perception was there until one of our mentors that was helping us with the business took me aside and told me and gave me some counseling on how to present myself more professionally. So it's easy to be misunderstood or misjudged, or even need to be corrected in the course of what we're doing. And it was very valuable. It was painful at first, but it was very valuable for me. So that was one instance that came to mind.
Okay, Corinne, I see you have your hand up also. What challenge did you have for how
For
you
me,
perceived?
it was when I started. I realized that when I attempted to do business with the financial institutions and so forth, they saw me as a young, inexperienced person. And when I finally got their attention, it was because I had to go change my attire to a formal attire. I printed my own name tag and put it on a chain. And you know, immediately that made a difference. It was disheartening for me because I have my own personality and style. And I am more comfortable in jeans and a branded polo shirt than a three-piece suit. But I did what I had to, but I realized that it is the perception, and also because I wasn't representing a big organization that they were familiar with.
Okay. Can you guys see my screen now?
Yes.
Yes.
The challenge I had, and when you're talking about challenges, you should always make sure that you have experts who can give you information to help you grow. I'm working on a different computer. Okay. Does anyone know what class thumbs are? And my source for information was my doctor, Dr. Weckerser, at the Babies and Children's Hospital in Cleveland, Ohio. My grandfather had 11 children and 30 grandchildren. I was the lucky one. I inherited his hands. My granddad had class thumbs. I also had class thumbs. Now, what that means, it's a congenital birth defect. And when I was born, my thumb was clasped inside my fist. Now, you're probably wondering how that became or could become a business challenge. People's perception of who you are and what they see of you can really affect your chances in life and things you grow with. When we talk about the diagnosis, at that point, there are very little diagnosis on that particular issue, and it's changed over the years. Actually, the commercials now are for people whose fingers don't go flat on the table. As a 2-month-old, I was able to get into the Journal of Bone and Health because I was a test child at that point. Some of the causes, it could be the tendons in your hand, it could be the thumb, it could be flexor muscles. At that point in the early 1950s, they really didn't know how to diagnose that particular issue. And from looking at it from the standpoint of treatments, there were very little treatments at that point. It could be done by surgery. It could be done by, and those were some of the surgeries that were done on my hand. The device they put on my hand to quote unquote stretch my fingers out looked something like that. Now, the first business challenge I had was I went to get a job at the Ford Motor Plant in Walton Hills, Ohio. And the guy took one look at me, took a look at my hands, and he says, "We can't hire you. We have enough injuries here without hiring somebody who already has, quote unquote, a hand issue." Going forward in life, numbers of people have looked at my hands and for whatever reason thought I had rheumatoid arthritis at an early age, and I had to explain to them what was actually going on. But when I asked the question, and I know that for me, that's been a challenge growing up in an early life, to have people decide my fate based on their experience. Think about the business challenges you have when people look at your life and not know the whole story and want to give you their ideas of what's right or wrong. Back to you, Madam Toastmaster.
Awesome sauce. Thank you so much, Charles. Let's go around the room, do a little round table, and show Charles some love about his speech. Who wants to volunteer? Come on to the stage. Any volunteers to give him some feedback? Just raise your hand or raise your hand to let me see you. Okay, okay, April, thank you for
Oh,
sharing.
I saw Faz, our guest first. Faz?
Who?
Thank you very much. I'm sorry I was not able to listen to him completely, but one thing I really liked is he has prepared really well. I think it's a well-researched presentation. Love that. Appreciate Toastmaster for that. Thank you.
Awesome, awesome. I wanted to say thank you for sharing your presentation, especially a challenge that maybe some of us wouldn't have thought about. It's definitely a perspective for me to understand how your hands, we may not even think, we shake hands in our culture, but to think that that was a bias that people held, we never know what those perceptions are and those roadblocks are. I see where you are in your career and the advice and things that you've shared. So obviously you have had tenacity, you've developed and you've been able to push past those barriers. But to share something from a time in your life and a time in medical history when they didn't really understand is helpful for someone in my generation to understand the road and things that have happened before our time. Now we have so many platforms for acceptance, for communities to come together, but that wasn't necessarily the case. And yet you still pushed forward and continued forward. So again, thank you for sharing your story.
Thank you, April. Who else wants to come to the stage and share for Charles? I'll come to the stage. Hello, Charles. First of all, thank you for being our second speaker this morning. I appreciate you stepping up and taking on that business challenge. And your story is so inspirational because people are always judging a book by the cover when they have no concept about the inside. Let me say that again. In life, people are always judging a book by the cover and have no concept about the inside. If you agree, say yes. So put your hand up. That's how people do today. That's how society is. And so we make judgment calls and don't know the real story or don't even try to find out about the story. That's the problem with society today. But it's a new day and it's a new time to check out what we're doing in life. And so, from that perspective, anyone else want to share for Charles? Any other hands? Okay, thank you, Georgina. Go right ahead.
Thank you for that share, Charles. I don't have, I mean, I raised my hand before. I didn't explain how what it's perceived about me, but I do have struggle speaking and social situations, and that's what I believe affects how people perceive me and my abilities. And I appreciate hearing your voice about the first thing you did was you opened up and let everybody see, like, we all have something like that. And some of us more than others, like for you, it was a physical thing that is more clearly obvious and also less well understood because it's less common. Um, Something that I I thought you might have been going in this direction is that as an entrepreneur, you you have more freedom, and part of that freedom is to move toward um, places that your abilities are appreciated better. Um, because yeah, so I kind of was looking forward to hearing more about that and how what kind of paths you took to get have your abilities appreciated despite misperceptions. Um, and I look forward to that in the future.
Thank you so much for sharing, Georgina. Thank you to all the ones that have shared so far. We appreciate your feedback. And Charles
Point of
helps us know we
order.
can go to the next level. Bond let us know how sometimes you get a free checkup from the neck up. You didn't ask for it, but you get it in life. Okay?
Yes,
So now we're
Madam
going to go
Toastmaster,
on to our, huh?
I see one of our guests, Simon, his hand was up. I'm not sure
Okay.
he's still available.
Oh, go right ahead.
Yes, Simon, please.
You're
Go
muted,
ahead.
Simon.
You are muted.
Yeah, thank you very much, Bon. Charles, what a wonderful and intriguing story you have just shared with us. The whole message in your story was just like a punch in the face of those who have got misperceptions and misunderstandings about those who want to do something else in their lives. Those who have got minor or major disabilities. Your whole message was amazing. I, as a listener, has got so many takeaways from your speech. Hats off to you, Charles. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you so much for your feedback, all of you. Let's move on. We have a third speaker this morning, the incredible Randy Powell. He's out there doing everything. He has businesses. He's out there changing the world. He's helping us to change our mindset. So, coming to the stage at this time is the amazing Randy Powell. Take it away, Randy.
Oh, good morning. Good morning. How's everybody doing?
Awesome, awesome. We can't see your face.
Let me see. I'm trying to see. Did I
There you
put on my challenge was putting on my makeup this morning, and it may not be all correct, but I'm sorry. I think I might even be jumped on a little late, but I'm not sure what we want to talk about today. Do we want to talk about a business challenge real quick, or do we want to talk about artificial intelligence or something else? And I'm sorry I missed Charles, but I love Charles, and whatever he had to say, I agree with it 100%. Absolutely.
Share us your take on life. Oh, go ahead, Randy.
How much time
Okay.
do you want, Randy?
Well, first let's isolate. What are we going to share about? What do we want to talk about? We want to learn a little bit about AI and dive into that. Do we want to business challenge? I don't know what's going on here. I'm kind of late.
We
Share
can
us
What would
talk.
about
you like?
AI. Let's grow.
Okay, let's talk a little bit about AI. First of all, the most important thing I want you to know about artificial intelligence is that it's here to stay. It's not going away. And if you shy away from artificial intelligence and learning and using it, and if you're not a techie, that's okay. I'm not a techie, I'm a user. But what I'd like you to know is as a Toastmaster, as an entrepreneur, aspiring speaker, business owner, creative, whatever space in life you want to take up and call yourself as far as what you are doing, artificial intelligence can help. Now, with anything good, things can be used for not so good because I don't like to use the word starts with an E or anything like that. But there's good and bad in the world. We all know that. I like to lean on the side of good. And so I want you to think about something that you might want to do, something you're currently wanting to do, something you want to do in the future, and just let your imagination fly. I'm going to share on the screen with you a suite of tools that will very easily allow you to do some of the things you want to do in much less time. Would that be okay if we do that? Now, one of the things we might do, I think April has a little bit of experience in this, and I think Frankie Jones might have attended and been a little aware of what we're talking about here. And Frankie has her hand up, so I'm just going to jump right in and ask her, does she have a question?
No, I'm timing you, so I wanted to be at the top of the screen.
Awesome. Okay, just wanted to make sure. Do I have share screen ability? Bond?
Yes, you have.
Awesome, awesome. Okay, so in a minute, I'm going to share my screen and we're going to do something here. Let's select the window, Entrepreneurs Toastmaster. We're going to do something here in just a second. Now, I'm going to need help understanding, can you see my screen at all? It
Yes,
says I'm screen sharing. Okay, don't pay
it's
attention to all the stuff that's up on the screen. I'm only going to take you, let me bring this back up. Let's see here. I'm going to take you to a site, and this site is called Quantum AI. Can you see Quantum AI right now? Can you
Yes.
guys see that?
Yes.
Awesome. Okay. So in this suite of tools, what we have is a suite of tools that allow you to take your hat off and let AI do all the stuff that you would do in life. So let me give you an example. If you want to create a video, there's Video Genesis here. And Video Genesis is an AI tool that allows you to create any kind of video you want out of your imagination. So if I open that up, for example, if I open that up, there's a couple different ways you can use AI prompting. You can use it and put a website in there and create a video from the website. You can go to text and you can prompt, put a description in there of what you would like this video to content wise have in it. And then you can jump down and you can create what type of theme you want, if it's a sales story, an announcement, an inspirational video, etc. And then you can go down and you can say, let me check the advanced systems out. Now you can put your logo in the video. You can create the language you want. Say, hey, I want to do it in Espanol, English, etc., Portuguese. You can go down and say, I want photo realism, or I want it to scroll. And you even get to select a number of different voices to act as your host. You can create background music and such. So these are the simple things that you can do with that. Now, what I'm going to do here is I'm going to make sure that when I share my screen that I can, let's see, have the music go or the sound. I'm not sure where that's at here because this is a different screen that I've got. Okay, so let me see if we can actually hear a video. You tell me. I'm going to bring up a video that I did with this project, and let's see if you can hear that. If you can't hear that, we'll have to figure that out real quick. Can you see the screen right now?
Yes.
Can you hear it?
No.
Okay. But you can see the screen.
We could see the screen.
Okay.
It might be on the right side of the screen now.
May I just heads up, Randy, what I see in the screen is a Zoom meeting screen right where we are right now. You may have multiple screens. You pick the right one.
Let's see.
Same case for me also.
It looks like under screen, it's not showing where I can, for some reason, where I can bring the music and the sound through. Normally it does. So I'm not understanding. I'm not seeing the screen.
When you share, you can choose share song. So when you share again, there's something that share song. Just check that box and click share song.
Yeah.
It's on the right side now instead of the bottom.
Oh, over by the more thing? On the right side.
On the right side, that is when you actually have the share box up. So click share. When the box appears, before you click what you want to share on the right, it will say share song.
Yeah, the problem is on this, for some reason, it's not showing it. I know what you're saying, and it's not showing the, I'm going to share the entire screen. Yeah, yeah, for some reason, it's not showing it. Okay, so we're going to move on, but you get my point. That video is done all in AI. So I'm going to stop the screen sharing right now for a second and bring back, let's see. So the point is here, you can put in the color of the script, how many slides you want, portrait, you can put in landscape. You can say by putting in a higher number of slides, it gives you a longer video. So it can go up to about an hour, about a minute and 40-second max video. So you could use that video for a lot of different things, for advertising, for talking about Toastmasters, for presenting yourself. You can even do sizzle reels if you want. So there's a lot you can do. My point there is there's a lot you can do if you're not afraid of using the technology as a user. Does that make sense? So I'm going to jump out of that and maybe stop the screen sharing real quick.
I can share a sample video that you did create.
Yeah, and why don't you do that while I'm shutting out of this?
So this is a video that Mr. Powell created from the AI tool. And we simply put in a couple of promptings, the name of the club, as well as leadership development. And here's what came out.
Welcome to Professional Pacesetters, where we transform communication into your superpower. Unlock the potential to connect, influence, and inspire with refined listening skills. Imagine navigating any conversation with confidence and clarity. Join us and discover the secrets to powerful and effective communication. We're dedicated to helping you grow beyond your current horizons. Develop skills that will set you apart in both personal and professional arenas. Our expert guidance will empower you to listen actively and speak with impact. Ready to elevate your communication and transform your interactions? Professional Pacesetters, your partner in mastering the art of communication. Start your journey today and watch your skills soar to new heights.
Okay, well, thank you for doing that. For some reason, my screen is acting weird. But so the point is that there are tools out there, and this Quantum AI Suite is a set of tools that I'm putting out to the world through one of my affiliates. And the wonderful thing about it, it's for my Toastmasters, for my members who are in my mastermind, it's $47 a month. And as they add more apps, the price will never change. So there are apps in there that will allow you to create a presentation. There are apps in there that will allow you to do things like put a proposal together. There are apps in there that will allow you to create photos and all different types of photos, and everything you create in there, you own it because it came from you. So in the AI world, if you create something, that automatically becomes your product, your property, your intellectual property. So there's a suite of tools. It takes a long time to talk about all those tools, obviously, but 3 or 4 of those tools I'm going to share and bring people up to date on October 25th, which is my live event. So if you're interested, you can just reach out to me at Randy Powell Speaks or phone call me, give me a phone call, whatever. But the point is, you have to get to a place where you are involved with AI if you plan on being in business going forward. So I just wanted to share that with you.
Randy, thank you for sharing that amazing content. We learned something this morning, yes, about what you can do to grow in AI. Anyone want to share some feedback for Randy? Raise your hand. Okay, April, go right ahead.
I'll share the experience that I had prior to this of creating the video. It all took place within a 5-minute meeting, Toastmaster meeting or speech. It was super easy to see how Mr. Powell was able to show us the power of prompting the AI to show us what we wanted, and to see the product that came back was truly amazing. For this audience as entrepreneurs, I think we would definitely be excited to see the full presentation again, to be able to see the leverage that was created from using AI to create such a quality product in such a short amount of time. Many people are trying to figure out how to get their messaging out, how to reach the right audiences. And I think the tools that Mr. Powell brought to us and the timing right now in such a tangible setting where we have the opportunity to ask questions and experience it, I think is invaluable. And we're sitting at the edge of time where, again, as entrepreneurs with limited time and resources, we have truly a unique opportunity. And so thank you for bringing it to us and sharing it with us so that we can have the opportunity for the right of first refusal. we heard it here first.
Very timely point. Thank you, April. Anyone else want to give Randy some feedback? Yes, Bond, go right ahead.
Yes, thank you, Randy. Interesting tool. Is this video generated, editable? You're muted.
Yeah, it's editable. You can, if you don't like the first one, you can go back and create another one without changing a whole lot. You can add prompts to it. You can add, you can do a lot with it. What you can't do yet, they're still working on another version. And as they get better, you know, it'll constantly get better with AI. But the in motion stuff, like if you're on screen doing a video and you want to take that video and add it to this, it can't do the exact video yet. You can put your photos in there. So if you have headshots or you speaking on stage or in a meeting and working with people, you can bring that into the pre-done video and it will develop that and add that in there. So you can add more time on it. You can add and edit the prompts that are automatically in there. It depends on how much goes in as to how much comes out. It's just like anything else, the quality of the prompting and what you put in the information. Yep, but it is fully editable. And that's just one of the many apps.
Yes. One more question. Is any time limit, any cap on the how long you can run on the video?
The video is 1 minute and 40 seconds right now. It'll probably go up down the road, but it's 1 minute and 40 seconds right now. There's an entire buyer process in there that you can build a buyer, your ideal client. It walks you through all of the process of your buying. So if you are offering something to someone, you can create a buyer profile. So if you know who your target industry is and your target audience, it'll create a buyer profile. It'll take you through objections, how to overcome their objections. It'll take you through building their bonuses and all of that stuff in the buyer profile. So that's in there. In the buyer process, that's in there as well. So it'll help you if you have something to offer to other people in a way that will target specifically what they want, what they need, and all that's in the buyer profile and lays it out for you. So we can talk about that later if you want.
I got it. Thank you.
Thank you very much. I want to thank our three speakers for sharing wonderful information to us. It was worth getting up at 7 o'clock. Wouldn't you say? Yes. And so let's keep it moving. We're on a mission. We're going to move now to the part where we all get to share a bite of what we have to say about challenges. Our table topics master this morning is the amazing April Gillis. Take it away.
Thank you so much, Madam Toastmaster. You are so dynamic and energetic, so I am so excited to match your energy this morning and get us started with some questions. We've had the opportunity to hear from some dynamic speakers and to have our minds massaged and our emotions stirred up quite a bit.
Go April. Go April.
So my first question today, we can't change the past. However, we can change our perspective. Tell us about a time where you had a business failure that you now view with a more positive light. Again, we cannot change the past, but we can change our perspective. Tell us about a time when you had a business failure that you now view with a more positive perspective. Suzanne, would you like to answer that for us? Let's see, you're on mute. We can.
Alda, you are muted. Press Alt
Okay.
to unmute your microphone. Am I unmuted now?
Yes, you are.
Okay. Good morning, fellow Toastmasters. I am in the process of beginning my business. I am an aspiring speaker, but I think some of the challenges, even just getting to that point and putting it together, as you know, I'm working with Randy Powell, and I do have a website. We're working on getting some headshots, some professional pictures of myself. But I think just in planning my business, what is it all about? Being relevant. My target audience is people who are blind. Randy and I, we talked about narrowing my focus, talk about loss, but specifically sight loss. I want to talk to the medical field, the healthcare profession, but just putting it together and finding what works for me in the tools that I have, all the assistive technology. This morning I had a challenge because I thought I had, I have it now. I had the password and that I thought I had it, the login information, and now I do. I have it in 3 different spots, but it's just putting it all together and not using the excuse, well, I don't know where I put it, I don't have it. But I want to be relevant in my business. Don't have the challenges right now, but just the challenge, well, I should say the challenges that I'm facing right now is putting my business together and putting that all together and finding, but at the same time, it's all good because we've all been there. We all go through those struggles. Thank you for the question, Madam Table Topics Master.
Thank you so much. Again, today's meeting, we are talking about failure, and thank you so much, Suzanne, for showing us how a challenge was turned around for an opportunity. And now you have coverage in multiple areas, plan A, B, and C. My next question, tell us about a time when you were relieved that you failed because of the lesson you learned. Tell us about a time when you were relieved that you failed because of the lesson you learned. Abe?
Can you repeat again topic?
Tell us about a time that you were actually relieved because of a failure, because of what you learned from the experience.
So I'm still not getting it. Tell us, can you give
about a time, a lesson you learned from a failure?
Okay. Good morning, Toastmasters and fellow guests. I have failed multiple times in my life. Means if I start counting, I think there will be multiple stories, or even I can write a book on that. But once it's not the failure, but it's actually I was working as a marketing manager in one of the company, and something like Bond, the companies got bankrupt, and I was forced to go out. But still, many people were retained because the another company has acquired it. So that time I analyzed what's the reason why they told me. Then one thing I find that, okay, the communication is the one part that I need to improve on. And then I joined Toastmasters. And believe me, it's been a roller coaster ride. First, means I've been part of Toastmasters from last 5 years. From being a echo, I now have turned to a voice. Now I started taking the steps that need to be taken in the right direction. So after being 4 years in the Toastmaster, I also started my business. So that I can never think of 6 or 8 years back. I was a kind of guy who can only work that can do the work, but never be an entrepreneur. So I think that failure or maybe the kind of the job loss that I had is a kind of stepping stone for me in my career or also in my life. And that failure uh, taken me to a different, taken me to a complete different person and also means a different person and also taken me to different heights in my life over and back to the Toastmaster April.
Thank you so much for sharing. Thank you, thank you, thank you. My next question. What advice, actually, what do you want to say to your future self? What do you want to say to your future self? Salmon, would you like to answer that one?
Yes, please come again.
What advice or what encouragement would you want to say today to a future version of yourself?
Thank you. Thank you very much. One of the quotes that pops up in my mind, the Brian Tracy says, if you want to be a successful person in your future, focus on your present. So my message to myself would be, Salman, be in the game, stay in the game, embrace the failures, and enjoy the present moment and work hard in your present moment so that the future can be bright for you. I have I have been part of Toastmaster journeys for the last 3 years, and something that pushed me into this journey was none other than myself. So I pushed myself into the Toastmasters with a mission, with an ambition, or with some goal that one day I would be able to be a better communicator, an amazing leader, so that I can contribute to the community in future. So the lesson based on these failures to me is focus on your present. If you work on your present, the future will take care of itself. Don't worry, guys. Work on your present. Will be amazed in your future. Back to you.
Thank you, thank you, thank you. I have my last table topic question for the day. Advice would you give your 18-year-old self? What advice would you give your 18-year-old self? Feel free for the person I asked to share, and others feel free to share it in the chat so we could all hear. What advice would you give your 18-year-old self? Karen, would you like to answer that for us?
I would tell myself to do it the same way again. That's what I would tell myself. I've grown up in a society where everybody prioritizes education in a formal setting. I see the benefits in education in a formal setting, but I believe that you should be getting an education in something that you are passionate about and not just something that somebody says could get you a good job. Because I feel as if though we should not be looking for a good job, but we should be looking for our calling. And I received a partial scholarship for a university and I did not accept it. And my parents couldn't understand. And they said, we will put the difference, we will pay for it. I'm the only one in a family of 5 children that does not have a bachelor's degree or a master's degree or any degree for that matter. But I explained to my parents that if I do that, even though they're paying half the money, the other half, the half they're paying would be wasted. And I'll feel pressure to go out and build a career off of something that they spend their money on because they spend their money and not because I'm enjoying what I do. So as a result, I did not take it on. I instead went directly into the workforce. I also grew up in a time when it was still not norm for women to get involved in technology. And my parents also struggled with that. And I had to make a case. And my parents eventually allowed me to do computer classes at night while I go to regular school during the day as a compromise. And so I am happy that I did those things because the practical experiences, the lessons, I'm now launching my company to serve the global market and to help other freelancers, entrepreneurs, and so forth to find their calling. And so for me, I feel like it was a necessary journey filled with success and failures. I would not change it. And I would tell myself to just continue listening to your instinct.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you so much. Thank you to each of you for pondering the questions, whether you had the opportunity to answer out loud or simply internally. It has been my honor to serve as your Table Topics Master of the Day, and I return conduct to our Toastmaster of the Day.
Thank you so much, April. Those are great questions for us to think about. And I thank you all, the ones that participated, with your feedback. We're winding down to our meeting, and I don't want to miss an opportunity for our guests to say hello to us and say, how did you enjoy the meeting today? Because I know you enjoyed the meeting today. So share with us, Abby, and then Karen and Salman, in that order. Please share with us, what did you receive as your personal takeaway from attending our meeting today? Take it away. 1 minute each.
Yeah, yeah. So hi, it was again a wonderful meeting. I joined the second time. So all the speakers was quite phenomenal, and even the way he conducted the table topics. So it was an amazing meeting and a good learning experience. And I'm planning to take the membership also in few weeks.
Yay! Come on board! Yay! Woohoo! Join the popping family that's going somewhere. Okay, let me calm down. Okay, Karen and then Salman. Thank you.
Thank you, Melinda. I'm glad you called my name because if you hadn't, I did not consider myself a guest here anymore. But I obviously enjoy this Toastmasters. As I mentioned before, I am a member of another Toastmasters, but actually, the very person who introduced me to Toastmasters found you guys online, and that's how I got here. And I'm loving it. And perhaps maybe sooner or later I'll become a member of this Toastmasters too. And who knows,
Yay!
maybe I'll be giving back.
Thank you. Okay, Salman, and don't forget Foz. Foz, I didn't forget you, so you're gonna talk too, okay? Go right
Thank
ahead,
you.
Salman and Foz.
Thank you very much. Actually, I'm from India, but I work in Uzbekistan for the Ministry of Education. I'm sorry, I'm at school, and that's why I'm not able to be actively participating today with all of you. But I was listening to the club. There is a lot of fun, and I can see lots of new members coming in. Great. Go ahead. I would love to come back and join you later. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. Okay, Salman, it's on you.
Yeah, thank you so much. First of all, I'm very much happy you pronounced my name very well, Salma. Thank you so much for that. And coming to the meeting, it was amazing meeting indeed. Uh, what I found in terms of a takeaway from this meeting is, ladies and gentlemen, Failures are royal road to success. Embrace your failures and you will be a successful person. And I look forward to you all in next meeting for sure. And then I decide how to get the membership in this club.
Yes, come on, join us. Come on, come on. Let's grow. Let's soar. We're eagles. We're going somewhere. Yes. Who am I forgetting? I don't want to forget anybody. We got that. We got all our guests this morning. Okay. Frankie, what were you telling me, Frankie?
Don't forget Suzanne as our GE. We have generally value.
Yeah, I'm getting ready to bring her on now.
I just wanted to make sure.
Okay, thank you. I appreciate you. And Suzanne, come on down. You're our GE this morning. Share your feedback about how our meeting went. I know you had a challenge, and that was my fault.
Good
But
morning.
go
Can you
ahead.
hear me? Can you hear me?
Yes, we hear you.
Good morning, fellow Toastmasters. I feel it's unfair for me to evaluate the meeting because I was not here from the beginning. I had a challenge, but I have resolved that challenge. I have now put in the ID and the password, which is pretty easy, mastermind, in 3 different places. So I won't be late next time. I have no doubt that the meeting started on time because Melinda is very good. But first of all, I want to talk about the speakers. Before the meeting today, as I was watching as the week went on, we didn't have any speakers. And then I saw, oh, Bond decided he was going to speak and share a business challenge or a speech. I thought, yes, woohoo. And then when I got on, there were Charles was speaking, so 2 speakers, and then Randy came on. So I'm loving it. I love how people step up. I love how this club does that. They have those pocket speeches. Charles stepped up and spoke. I'm going to listen to the recording. Bond asked me last night or this morning to give him some feedback. So I will do that. I will listen to your speech, Bond, and I will provide you with some feedback as well as Charles. I will listen to your speech. But I have no doubt, excellent speeches. Table topics, April, you're always spot on. I love the questions you ask, very thought-provoking. People have to think, and the responses today were excellent. I love our guests. Please come back, consider joining. It is a great club. And again, I will take this challenge on again to be the general evaluator so that I can give a better informed general evaluation of the meeting. But thank you everyone for stepping up and taking on these roles. Thank you.
Thank you, Suzanne, for that. And I want our guests to please put your contact information in the chat box right now. Stop, drop, and roll.
Stop, drop, and roll.
Give us your email, your phone number, how to contact you, so we can stay in touch and make sure you're on the cutting edge with what we're doing from the cutting edge. Yes, thank you, our 4 guests, for joining us this morning. And our time is almost running out, and we want to be people that are on time because we're entrepreneurs. Everybody has a mission. We're soaring eagles. So I want to bring on our closing thought for this morning. Go right ahead. Wait a minute. I'm sorry. April needs to make a very critical announcement. Take it away, April.
Thank you so much, everyone. Before our closing thought today, just wanted to make the announcement. It was announced in the D12 news that our club is a part of Division C. And so as our Division C division director, I'm excited to announce we're going to have a lunchtime open house for all of our clubs in Division C. It will be Monday, November 4th from 12:30 to 1:30. It will take place in the Temecula area at the Temecula Valley Entrepreneur Exchange building. It will be open, doors will open at 12 o'clock. If you cannot come in person, you can join online. So we're encouraging all of our clubs to invite guests to come. It's an opportunity for us to fellowship together and again, to leverage the opportunity for our guests. I'll also drop the the flyer in the chat. It's also in this week's D12 news. Please spread the news, mark your calendars. It's for Division C wide open house during lunchtime. And that again allows any professionals that you know that are guests to come during their lunchtime as well. Thank you so much, and back to you.
Thank you, April, for sharing that information as our division leader. We appreciate you. Okay, we're running out of time. Deborah, please give us your closing thoughts.
Thank you, Madam Toastmaster. Our closing thoughts: thinking your way to the top. Imagine you've already where you want to be, like you've climbed your highest dream mountain. That's what this is saying about. It tells us that if we want to be winners in anything we do, we should start by believing we can be. It's like playing pretend until it becomes real. When we think we're good at something, it's like giving ourselves a high five and saying, "You got this." Thank you.
You got this.
Awesome. That's quite timely. Perfect. You got this.
You got this.
Entrepreneur Toastmasters, you got this.
Mm-hmm.
You got this. You've made the right investment in the right club at the right time. So do you, boo-boo? Which means take advantage of the opportunity to soar and grow. It is so important. Do not stop. Even with my challenges I'm growing through, God is healing me. I'm walking with my walker. I'm
Yay.
about to take those full-time, like official steps. I finally hired a personal caregiver to help me walk in this facility so I can walk more because I want to get out of the wheelchair. And I go to physical therapy, but that's walking only once a week. I'm trying to walk every day so that I can be walking for life. Hello.
You
Also,
go
I have
now.
I'm on a mission. Nobody's gonna stop me, okay? I don't play around. Get it done, okay?
You got
Talk
this.
is cheap.
Yep.
Talk is cheap and almost free. So soar and grow. I'm gonna be turning 65 in January for my birthday, and my daughter is launching Mindy's Kitchen. She's named her vegan products. She's gonna be having vending machines with vegan options for low-income families in Sacramento, my older daughter. And she's named the project Mindy's Kitchen. Mindy is my nickname. And so
Very
she's
cool.
having her full-time official launch of her vending machines the weekend of my birthday in January.
Cool.
She timed it just like that perfectly because of me. And her whole project is because of me, Mindy's Kitchen. She's been working on it for 2 years. So ever since I had my stroke, she's been on a mission. She's gone to chef school. She's done everything to do this. She's been having tasting fairs, everything. So my older daughter Melissa is launching Mindy's Kitchen. She's been on TV with it in Sacramento. So Mindy, has to show up in Sacramento for my birthday.
There you go. There you go.
I've booked my ticket. I've got my
Right
hotel.
on.
I have everything ready. And I plan to, I'm getting a power wheelchair, no excuses to navigate through the airport. And so I plan to be walking. That's the plan. Me and Jesus have a conversation. I'll be walking. I'll have my power wheelchair to navigate through the airport, but I plan to walk on that plane. Hello.
Yay.
Congratulations.
Walk on that
Good
plane.
job. Nice.
I'm going to
Hey.
do that, and they're going to meet Mindy in person. That's the plan. Who's
Hey,
Mindy?
Mindy, I got something to tell you real quick, Mindy. Denzel Washington has a short video, and he has 4 advices in life. Stop being afraid to spend money. Don't believe that love is finding the right person. Become the right person. 90% of life is just showing up. And you said that. And then the last thing he says is, you're going to have conflict in life. That's what life is about. But every day, enjoy life and solve the issue that's facing you.
That's right.
There you go.
Right.
I like it.
All right.
So-
Awesome. You guys are amazing Toastmasters. So glad to be part with you. Frankie, thank you for keeping us on time. April, thank you for the table topics. Our speakers were thebomb.com.
Yes.
Deborah, thank you for doing the closing thoughts. Suzanne, thank you for being our journey evaluator. And Georgina, thank you for being here. And so as a concept say, peace out.